But like also speaking of returns in WWE, we got some great news. So obviously the former Universal Champion Bray Wyatt is making a comeback in wrestling, and he announced that he will return, but he wants to make it a surprise and doesn't want to spoil like all the rumors and everything like that. Like, he's obviously taking his time and everything to make it back into the to wrestling. I want to be sure if it's going to be WWE, but I just hope that he does. If he does come back to WWE, like, obviously the Fiend is like the best character in WWE still, even though he's not there no more. And honestly, WWE should have never fired him. They should have they should have just booked his ass better. Like, yeah, the fun, the fun house, I forgot how you say it, like, it was the fun firehouse or the fun playhouse? I don't know how you pronounce the thing. But, they should have booked his ass better. Honestly, this man was a former WWE champion, a former Universal champion. He was a former WWE champion, a two-time Universal champion. He was a tag team champion. So this man was basically world title material. And for WWE to fumble the bag on the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, was retarded and stupid. I feel like that's like you can't just say, oh, you can't fire him because of budget cuts. Like, the last time we seen the Fiend in WWE was probably WrestleMania 37. That's the last time we seen the Fiend, honestly. I'm probably wrong. It's probably a little after that, but that's the last time we've seen the Fiend. Because ever since then, like, I don't know what. But it's weird because I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Like, this man came back to WWE with the whole costume burnt and everything. It was good to see him back, and also, to continue the kind of the story with Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton, and the Fiend, right? And after that, when he came down to WrestleMania 38, went back in the live, not 38, sorry, 37 with the live crowd again. This man, he didn't have the burnt costume on. It was just a regular Fiend costume before it was burnt. And I'm like, wouldn't it just make sense to keep him in the burnt costume because it would look better at the match? But it's WWE, so they're going to do what the hell they want, obviously, because they're retarded and, they have a lot of money to do that. But, overall, I feel like they should have kept the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Right. Obviously have Bray Wyatt take a break for WWE for a minute. Still have him. Still pay the man a lot of money. And then make him come back. Well, I don't want a brand new gimmick, but kind of make him to the point where they can actually book him properly. Keep him as the Fiend, but basically book him properly. And for him to make it back to the top spot in WWE, like the World Championship spot, honestly. Because I feel like, we kind of did get like a Roman versus Braun Strowman versus the Fiend at a pay-per-view, which is like a Payback already. We already did get that type of kind of like match. But I feel like, with the new persona of Roman Reigns, him being double champion and everything like that now, and having the undisputed world titles, I feel like they should have kept the Fiend and kind of like made a match between Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, like him now versus the Fiend. And I feel like if that would have happened, I feel like that would be a very great match to see. Because the Fiend is like the scariest person. He was like the scariest person in WWE. And basically, Roman Reigns, he's now the most paid, and on top of that, the most watched wrestler in WWE. And now since he has this type of tribal chief, head of the table type character, and the Fiend still has this scary, I'm gonna, let me in type character, I feel like them two at a pay-per-view, if it was, say for example, if you put Brock versus the Fiend, I feel like the Fiend would have won, honestly, and then took the WWE title away from Brock Lesnar, and then have the winner take all, the Fiend versus Roman Reigns, and I feel like the Fiend would definitely dethrone Roman Reigns. He'll be probably one of the wrestlers to dethrone Roman Reigns besides, The Rock or Cody Rhodes or Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley, honestly. Because Bray Wyatt still had a bunch of potential in WWE, but Vince McMahon decided to come because of budget cuts, which we all know that's bullshit. Because if you look at WWE's roster, from the men and the women, they're both getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Especially goes for the tag teams division. Like, they are tiny as hell. Like, they are not even counting the women's division, because the women's division is already tiny how it is. But I'm talking about like it's just getting smaller. Like, there's barely any people to wrestle just for the big title. And the other people that they have that they don't cut, they don't really use them that well, or if they do use them, they put them in shitty storylines, and it doesn't even make sense at the time. Or if they don't put them in shitty storylines, they just stick it to the 24/7 title. Like, WWE has all this good potential, but they don't know what to do with it. That's the problem. That's the problem with WWE. Like for example, if I have to see a couple people that that they have great potential, but they don't use them as well. One of them, Cedric Alexander. I'm gonna use him for example. He was in the cruiserweight division, the 205 Live division. The man was even a former cruiserweight champion, and this man does a lot of high flying, and he's a great wrestler, and he's a great performer and everything. But WWE doesn't utilize him. They don't put him in top spots. The last time this man won a championship besides the Cruiserweight Championship was the Raw Tag Team Championships. And that's what Shelly Benjamin, they were in the Hurt business. Besides that, they don't talent like that. They let talent like that go to waste. They don't really use them properly. And that's the problem with WWE. They have the talent. They see them doing great things, but they don't utilize on it. They don't go on top of what they want to do with the person. They just keep them around, just for small time, 24/7 title. This man, if he's not booked for a tag team, title opportunity, or a United States title opportunity or Intercontinental title opportunity, and this man is basically going to be stuck doing the 24/7 title the whole entire way in his career, unless until WWE lets him go. That's the problem. Same thing with the Fiend. The Fiend was was the top athlete besides Roman Reigns, because it was the top athletes was the Fiend, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and probably a few others that I probably can't remember off the top of my head. And it sucks because you have big man talent like that you have, and after a while, you just put them in the shitty storylines, and then they're unhappy about themselves because, like, yo, I'm on WWE, I'm the world champion, but you give me shitty ass storylines. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say like him versus Braun Strowman was shitty because yes, they do have history, and yes, that was actually a pretty good storyline and everything, but you cut him from because of budget cuts. Like, that's like what? Like, no. Like, I don't know, man. I really honestly don't know. Like I said, I hope Braun Strowman. Not what I say Braun Strowman for. I hope Bray Wyatt does return, and if they, if he does get a WWE offer and reject it, I hope they go to I hope he goes to AEW along with I think FTR as well too, because with like WWE had so much talent for between 2015, 2016, and 2017 and 2018. They had so much talent, but they let it all go to waste because they don't know what to do with them and because of budget cuts. Budget cuts my ass. Like, come on now. You have talent, you like be honest, you just don't know what to do with them. That's honesty. Just make good storylines for them. That's all you gotta do. Make good story. Shoot. Like, basically, honestly, if you need story that bad, just ask one of the people, like, basically put out a post on Instagram or Twitter or something and say, give me your best storylines for this character or this character to go against each other, or make a possible storyline for this character so it can be a possible match for this character. Like, if you do that, or just hire better writers on top of that, you know how good WWE will be right now? It will be way better than AEW. Honestly, if they just have good storyline and they just figure out what to do with them characters. Because if not, like, y'all gonna just struggle with storyline after storyline and after storyline. You're gonna keep cutting people after person, and possibly Roman Reigns is gonna have to be cut too with shitty storyline. So, honestly, I don't know. Just, if, like I said, Bray Wyatt, I hope you take your time to come back, because I would love to see you back in wrestling too. And if you do go back in wrestling, go to AEW, because AEW has every former WWE star at this point. So I feel like WWE, won't treat you good, bro. Just go to AEW, and I swear you'll be treated better than any wrestler company that's treated you better before. Because CM Punk is there, Daniel Bryanson is there, Cody Rhodes was there but left, and some big huge WWE stars is also there, and just go to AEW. That's all I gotta say, man. Just go to AEW. You will just get treated better than WWE has ever treated you in that whole entire company.